Louisiana Bigfoot at Honey Island.
Near Lake Pontchartrain.
Near Lake Pontchartrain. This is the swamp monster, the so-called swamp monster.
Well, I don't consider it a monster. Let's call it the swamp human.
Well, depending on who you're talking to, it could be a monster, it could be a human. We're saying it's human, you're saying it's human.
Or swamp ape, maybe.
Now, in a previous episode, you were talking about drones.
Yes.
And the fact that people are now using drones as a hunting instrument.
Yes.
And do you agree with that?
We talked about the previous episode. If it was like 200 years ago where people were starving to death because they didn't have enough food, I would agree with it. But now it gives see, there's only so many people that are given licenses to hunt animals in a certain area, and there's only so many of them that actually do. And if you give any one of them an unfair advantage over the people that can't afford the cameras and whatnot, they could get all the...
They're allowed to kill a certain number of wild animals, and they're given a small window of opportunity.
But so I don't know the argument. I was reading about it. I don't know the argument someone was saying as if that would allow them to get... Maybe most people don't ever meet that quota.
Well, there's always going to be rules on government land, and this is one of the rules they're going to enact. They're going to outlaw drone hunting.
Yeah, but the whole thing is what's the reason behind it? What's the rationale,
I think
the logic?
That's what it was an unfair advantage.
If everybody is only allowed to catch a certain amount themselves, then once they meet the quota, drone or no drone, isn't that fair?
Well, it might not be as entertaining or fun anymore.
No, but that's the thing. You're going off topic. The whole thing was it was said that they would have too unfair an advantage and they'd catch too many of them. But if
they're only allowed to capture so many,
so what's
they would limit out very quickly.
So what's the hassle? So then people limit out very quickly.
I mean, it's just all about government land, and there's rules, and they want to lay down a law, put in a rule. That's just the way it is.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, or I'm not even saying hunting's good or bad. I'm just trying to find the rationale behind that.
Behind what the government tells you, you're trying to find rationale.
Okay.
There's a good one.
So that's what you're saying. There really isn't a rationale.
I mean, even if there was, they're going to have an argument, but we don't know exactly what that argument is. They're saying it's an unfair advantage.
Now, is it an unfair advantage to finding Bigfoot? I mean, maybe, but then there's no...
Well, I mean, there are a lot of amateurs out there with these drones now. They should be out there looking for Bigfoot.
Because you would have a great advantage if you did.
Fantastic advantage. In fact, do we know that these trackers aren't using this already as a tool?
Well,
how are they locating all of these Bigfoot?